Hi guys, and welcome back to Correct My Swing, Andy and Josh chats. So kind of following on from our heel strike talk that we did and our chat conversation about that and the moving faults related to that, we also have to do the opposite end. So today we're going to talk about toe striking and the relationship it has with our left miss product.
Yeah. So the same, you've just said there, the same questions had been coming up just on the opposing side. So like we said, we've got the heel strike. We need to now cover the toe strike. So just as another visual, like we said last time, you got the ball, you want to hit it in the sweet spot and present in the middle. So you have the in, present in the middle to square, and then back in again. That's like the ideal as such. That's what you're looking for. So the toe strike, you would come more across the ball. So you're going to like drag it across. So you would come from the outside this time. So you've got that path going left, and face will be going left as well, more than likely for it to start to the left. If it's then going across, chances are, like I said, the likely correlation is that you are going to pull the club in towards you and bring the sweet spot more towards you. So you're moving it again away from the ball, but you're going to be presenting more of the toe. So again, it's like we said, until like your divot profile in theory after the ball. If you hit the toe, it's going to open the club face up like that. But the chances are, if you are dragging it across you, there could be a strong possibility that you're going to hit the turf more towards like this part of the club. So the sole here, obviously you want to be coming through fairly level and getting towards the middle, but dynamically as you're hitting through the impact area, you might be presenting more towards the heel that's going to hit the turf. So you'll strike the toe, that's going to force the club to twist that way. But then as you hit the turf, your club's going to want to do that. Now, obviously, they're very extreme, but you imagine it's going to be that extreme in terms of the forces and the movements that are going through your body. So the movement patterns and faults that certainly we saw in the left miss, that again, you can draw the correlation between the toe strike and the left miss. In the upper body was a very lat dominant pattern. So like the big muscle down, kind of like down your side, like all down here, this big bad boy here, very strong, great at recruiting force, but can have a detriment in terms of how your body moves into shapes and positions. And also your inner thigh, so your adductors in your lower body, kind of the weakness and the lack of ability to control those were creating movement faults, weren't they?
Yeah, and I think one of the things is we relating back to other chats that we do and the chats we're going to have in the future around and where we kind of fit within the golf fitness correction world. That we've talked a lot about getting stronger, and there's a lot of talk in the golf community about getting stronger, and in relation to that, there's a lot of stuff around doing pull-ups and stuff that's been, isn't there? There's been a lot of things about why they're important to get stronger and the lats getting stronger. And, we can't define the fact of it's a big, strong, powerful muscle and it will allow you to hit the ball further, which we've talked about on quite a lot of our recent conversations. And it's the conversations we seem to have an awful lot with coaches recently because of certain golfers who are putting on a lot of size and smashing the ball really, really far. And, that's good, and listening to you, and which I do intently all of the time, obviously, in the sense that, you'll always say that statistically, the further on we get down the club, the course with our drivers.
The further down you get, the more of the hole you can cover off the tee, statistically, you are going to take less shots.
So
that's going to lead to better scores.
Power and strength is good. But what we were seeing, especially when we were doing our study, was people who had this lat dominant pattern were dragging the club around the body. They had uncontrolled lateral shift, which for those who are watching and going to, we understand side bend and lateral shift is important in the swing and is essential. But with the capital but, you want it when you want it rather than when it's uncontrolled and just happens. And what we were seeing was people who hips were shifting very laterally in the backswing. Instead of going posteriorly where they're loading the glute, they're actually loading the TFL and other lateral structures, which means that they can't rotate from the hip, which means They're not going to get the rotation, not going to get what I think you describe it as the lift of the belt buckle into that.
So like when you're going into the downswing, like there is a lateral shift into your lead leg, so you put a lot of pressure through your lead leg, and that's good. That's what you want. But from there, you start to get like the extension up the legs into the hips and the rotation. So that's where you get like that rotating, rising belt buckle. But like you said, you want it on your terms. You want it when you can control it. Not like what we saw quite a lot of was that there was a lot of lateral shift without any great deal of control.
The big thing
or ability to get the rotation as well.
But the other thing is, if you're going to go a lot, if you're shifting, if you're getting your natural thing where you're getting good rotation in the backswing from the hip, and then you're coming back down, and you haven't got that tightness, and the club face is going to come back towards the sweet spot, and the old idea is hit the ball better, right?
Mm-hmm.
But if you're coming down and the lat is recruiting too early, too soon, you're getting too much lateral shift and you're getting too early into a side bend position, then your elbow is going to come close to your side. The club your hands are going to come closer to you. And like you were saying, that you're more likely to then hit it with the toe of the club.
You're going to like be dragging the club across your body.
Anatomically, we saw that every time we were screening these people, and and we were, not only did we visually watching, we were watching the data on our launch monitors to say what was actually happening, and then we were screening them and we were finding all these movement faults. So I think it's really key that to understand that if you are a toe striker or you're a coach that someone would say comes with those kind of toe striking, and they have they're probably going to be more like to have the left miss kind of style, but definitely our corrective program would sit that way. And also I think it's important to understand that fundamentally when we're looking at what we're doing is the detail that we've gone into. We've really been spending time looking at to improving the adductors and glute medius, and especially those people so that they do have a better stability of their pelvis. Now, again, as somebody who spends most of the time having uncomfortable conversations with golfers with serious back pathology and pain or sciatic and referred pain, if you're not using your hip or your glute to through a swing, and you're relying on lateral shearing forces through your spine and end stage extension, your body can't sustain that for long periods of time. No, so either two things are going to happen. You're going to end up with a bad back, which, let's be honest, if you've ever had a bad back, one, it's horrible. Two, makes golf very, very uncomfortable. And mostly what you're going to have to do is you're going to have to compensate in your swing. Now, that'll either you either compensate in the sense of you spend all your day looking for your golf ball.
You're going to be losing more of them.
You're going to be losing more of them, which is going to cost you more money. Or you're going to end up having to go and see some kind of healthcare practitioner to deal with your pain. So again, we repeat this and we're not apologizing for it. Please, 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 please take some time to learn how your body moves, understand how your body moves, make your body more efficient. And one way, I guess, a key indicator your body doesn't move efficient if you're consistently striking on the toe of your club. That's a good indicator.
That's another good indicator, because obviously if you're not hitting the middle of the club face, then that's going to throw up inconsistencies in terms of what ball flights are going to appear. So it's another way of like helping you to diagnose, or helping you and your coach to diagnose, well, actually, yes, it does start left most of the time, but it can also like throw up some right starts, because if you hit the toe, it's going to obviously like possibly want to start a bit further right than it maybe should do, than where necessarily like the path in the face is pointing. So it's like, let's say, using the strike pattern as another form of diagnosis or another form of confirmation to point you in the right direction is also a good thing.
No, I totally agree. And I think, look, we're here to help. Remember, one of the things that me and Josh set up Correct My Swing. So if this is the first time listening, then we set up because we're very passionate about making better golfers. I think is exactly what we're about. That's something that that's what we've developed this. That's what we've done this. So please feel free to ask us questions. You can email us directly at helpme at correctmyswing.com. Flipping heck, need coffee. Or please feel free to post below in our social media. Follow us, ask us questions. We're here to help. We're here to assist you. If you're a coach and want to know more about what we do, then please feel free to reach out, and we'll be very happy to set up a chat. Thanks again for watching, and until next time, see you soon.